Hi, I'm Amelia and welcome to my channel, Sew Amelia, where I talk all about making a handmade wardrobe for me and my children. Welcome to this week's video, which is my contribution to the Sew Frugal 22 sewing challenge. Thank you so much for watching today. I do hope that I'm able to inspire you with my choice of patterns today. I've got 5 free patterns for women and I have 5 free patterns for children, so I do hope you'll stay tuned and hear all of these lovely patterns. I have focused on patterns for spring and summer, as that is what I'm really wanting to sew next for my handmade wardrobe. But I'm sure these patterns could be altered and changed to be worn through the Southern Hemisphere autumn and winter as well. So this challenge is being run by the lovely Sam from Frugal and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. And I'm sure by now you've watched lots and lots of wonderful vlogs and you know the rules off by heart, so I won't go over them again, but I will pop the information over here so that you're aware of what the sewing challenge entails. And if you want more details, do pop over to Frugal or the Yorkshire Sew Girl because they have more details on their channels about the rules for the challenge. So I'm just going to get straight into these 10 fabulous free patterns that I've been really inspired by when I've been doing my research. I'm not going to tell you which of these I'm going to choose to sew up this month. Do pop back on the 31st of March or shortly thereafter when I will share my reveal vlog of the garments that I have chosen to sew up for the Sew Frugal 22 challenge. So recently I have been listening to the Check Your Thread podcast. If you've not yet listened to it, do go and give it a follow and a listen. It is fantastic. There's so much good advice there and really interesting interviews about more sustainable sewing practices. And one of the recent interviews was with Liz Haywood from Australia, and I was really inspired by the idea of zero waste sewing. Now, I just want to dip my toes into the waters before I go fully into any zero waste patterns. And on her blog, Liz Haywood shares a fantastic tutorial about how to make a ruffle top for the summer. She also shares a hack about how to turn that into a sundress, which is what I would really like to do. Now, the amazing thing about Liz Haywood's zero waste patterns is that she has them in a variety of sizes, and in fact this one comes in 15 sizes from size 2 up to size 30, and she also has the mathematical formula on there for how you can increase those sizes further depending on your measurements. So that means this pattern goes from a bust of 28 inches up to 56 inches, which is fabulous. And that's the only measurement you need, as the bust is where it's fitted and then it drapes from there. So to turn the top into a dress, you simply need to cut it longer and then you add a cummerbund around the middle just to draw that in, which I just think looks fantastic. And if I make this pattern, I want to use this fabric that I've had for ages. It's a beautiful fabric from Pigeon Wishes, and I just love the pink and red. I haven't known what to make with this pattern. I just bought it because I absolutely loved it, and I don't usually do that because I don't like things to sit in my stash. But I actually think this little top with its gentle ruffle and its ties would really allow this fabric to speak for itself and be a really fun sundress for the summer. So that's my first idea, is the ruffle tank by Liz Haywood turned into a dress in this beautiful cotton by Pigeon Wishes. The second pattern that I've seen, I'm sure you've heard mentioned before, and it's the Tilda blouse by Maison Fauve. This is a beautiful blouse pattern and I really love the pin tuck details, and I could see myself wearing this with a lot of my pinafores, but also tucked into jeans. Just simple and classy for the spring. It also has beautiful pin tucks on the sleeves, which go with these pin tucks on the front of the blouse, and it's a lovely puffed sleeve gathered into a cuff, and we all know that I love a puffed sleeve. Unfortunately, this pattern doesn't have the largest size range. It does only come in sizes 6 to 24, and that's UK sizing. So if I do make this one, I have a very simple white cotton lawn here that I've had in my stash for a little while that I bought to make a blouse with. And I didn't have a pattern in mind, but now I've seen this, I think I'd love to make it in a simple white cotton lawn. I think the details then of the pin tucks on the bodice front and the sleeves would just really be able to shine, and the lawn has enough structure that it would hold those puff sleeves really nicely. So that's my second idea, is the Maison Fauve Tilda blouse in this white cotton lawn. Now my third idea is the Marijé DIY Barcelona top or dress. Now this is a really lovely V-neck and V-back top with tie closures. It's a lovely floaty shape and it can be extended into a shift dress. Now shift dresses don't really suit my shape, so if I were to make this one, I think I'd probably cut it off at the waist, where my natural waist is, and just add a gathered and tiered skirt and there are heaps of tutorials online, free tutorials about how to do that. I will include one below for you. But yes, if I were to make this one, I think I would make the top and then gather the skirts into the waist. Sadly, this pattern, which looks so fabulous, has quite a limited size range. It is from UK size 8 to 14. And if I were to make this one, I want to make it in this purple daisy viscose that I bought from Rainbow Fabrics. I just think this is such a fun, floaty viscose, and it would work really well, especially in the summer, as a nice, light, floaty summer sundress. So if I were to make this one, I would make it as the dress with this purple viscose. So that's the Barcelona top and dress by Marijé DIY. Now the next two patterns come from Peppermint magazine. Now all of their patterns come in a really good size range. They're usually quite big size ranges from A to N or A to P. Both of these patterns have a great size range, and I've chosen, the first one is the Skye shorts by Peppermint magazine in collaboration with Make It With Mandy patterns. I really like these shorts. They've got an elasticated waistband at the back and then a curved waistband at the front, which I think is really, really flattering. I love the softness and the fullness of the shorts, as that's something that really works well for my shape. And I like the length of them as well. They're not too short, and I'm sure I could extend them slightly so that they're more like knee length, which is the length that I prefer. I also love the fact that they have wonderful pockets, which is a must, especially in the summer when you're visiting the beach and collecting all of those lovely shells and treasures that the children always manage to pick up. In my stash, I have this beautiful rust-coloured linen viscose. See, it's quite a bright colour. I made this into a pinafore, which I wear all the time. Now, it softens so beautifully with wash and wear, so I think this would work really well for the drape of those shorts. And because it's a colour I've already got in my wardrobe, I know that I've got tops and things that would work with this as a bottom. So that's my fourth idea, is the Skye shorts by Peppermint magazine in this beautiful rust viscose linen. Now, Peppermint magazine patterns are free, but they do suggest that if you would like to, you can make a donation. And I'm sure you've seen recently they've been really affected by the flooding in Australia. So if you can make a donation when you download that pattern, I'm sure that would be so appreciated. But both of these are free patterns. So the fifth idea I have for my frugal sewing is the Peppermint magazine Paddington top. Again, another favourite pattern with vloggers this month, so I won't go into too much detail, but I love this loose floaty blouse. It's got the buttons down the back, it's got the beautiful puffed sleeves, which we all know I'm a fan of, and it's just a pattern that I've wanted to make for a long time, but have been saving it for the spring and summer months. Again, this comes in Peppermint magazine's great extended size range, and it's in collaboration with French Navy, which is a lovely pattern company. So the fabric I have for this one is a burgundy fabric with these tiny little crosses in it that I bought from Merchant and Mills. And I, again, didn't know quite what to make with this one, so it sat in my stash. So I have learnt my lesson. I only now try to buy fabrics that I have plans for. It is a cotton seersucker, and I think it would hold the shape of those sleeves again beautifully, and sort of the A-line shape of the blouse, and I think it would work really well with either some high-waisted jeans or underneath, in fact, some of my pinafores. So that is my fifth idea for my frugal sewing, the Paddington top by Peppermint magazine in this Merchant and Mills cotton seersucker. Now, as you will all know, if you've followed me for a while, you know I love to sew for my children as well as for myself. And so I am going to now share 5 free, fabulous children's patterns for the spring and the summer. The first pattern I'm going to share is called the Everyday Play Skirt, and this is available on Little Lizard King. They have some fantastic free patterns, so do go and have a browse, as there are other ones that I'm not going to mention today, and they're all lovely. Now, the Everyday Play Skirt appeals to me because it looks like a really simple and comfortable girl's skirt. It has either panels at the front or just a strip of fabric gathered into an elastic waistband. Now, I have plenty of jersey scraps left over from making tops and things for myself, so I have lots of jersey scraps I could use for the waistband. And what I thought I would like to do for my daughter is to use some fat quarters from my So Hayley Jane boxes as the strips for the skirt. So the first set of fat quarters that I have that I might choose are these nautical ones here. So you can see there's some boats, there's some octopuses, there's crabs, a lovely sort of range of blues, and I could use a navy or a white jersey for the waistband for that one. So that's one option. I think that would be such a cute little skirt for the summer months playing at the beach. Or there are these purpley, pinky fat quarters that I think she would absolutely adore, including one with a unicorn on it. So this is the other option for the panelled skirt, is these gorgeous glittery purple unicorn fabrics. amazing. So those are the two options I have. Let me know below which one you think you would go for. I know which one she would probably pick, but yes, let me know below which one is your preference. I also have some lace trims and things in my stash, so I could add a nice lace trim down the bottom of that skirt, and it would be perfect for swishing around in the spring and summer months. I should mention that that pattern comes from 12 months to 14 years, which is a fantastic size range. Having downloaded this, I can also assure you that there are fantastic instructions with great clear diagrams. I always really love Little Lizard King instructions, and their free pattern is no different from their paid patterns. The instructions are fantastic. So great size range, great instructions on that pattern. The next dress is from Violet Fields Threads, and it is their London sundress. This is such a sweet little strappy, simple sundress with a small bodice up the top and then just gathered skirt into that. It looks very sweet, simple for the summer, and it would be a great stash buster. Now this again comes in sizes 2 to 10 years, so a great size range, and there are no buttons, zips or fastenings, so it's a great quick and easy project to sew up. Now in terms of making this one, I have a couple of blue ginghams left over in my stash from some projects I sewed up last spring and summer, and I thought it'd be quite nice perhaps to mix and match these ginghams, perhaps one for the bodice and one for the skirt, and with a bit of my lace trim as well. That could make a really sweet summer sundress for my daughter. So that's my second pattern for children, is the London dress by Violet Fields Threads. Now the next pattern company is Dutch, I believe, and I cannot say the name of the pattern company, so I'm going to pop it along the screen here, and my huge apologies, but I can't pronounce that. But on their website, which I'll link below, they have fantastic free patterns for children. I just loved them all, and I could have mentioned them all, but I am just going to mention the one that I loved the most, and that is their Lulu skirt. This is a very simple elasticated waist skirt with cute little straps over the shoulders to make it into sort of like a pinafore skirt. It looks so sweet, and I would love to sew this one up for my daughter. It also has an option for putting ruffles on the shoulder, and we all know that I love a ruffle. Again, great size range for this free pattern. It comes in sizes 2 to 12 years, and I believe that it does have instructions in Dutch and in English. Now the fabric I have for this one is one I received in a Sewciety Jane box a little while back. It's this gorgeous pinky lavendery cotton gauze with butterflies on it. Now when I received it, I wasn't sure it was something I was going to use for myself, but I knew that I'd be able to make something for my daughter out of it. And I think the little Lulu pinafore in a double gauze would just be so sweet for the summer months. But because it's a double gauze and it can give some added warmth, I could add like a long sleeve top underneath it, and she could continue to wear that into the autumn and the winter. So that is my next idea for children, is the Lulu dress in this double gauze from my Sewciety Jane box. Now I couldn't leave my boys out. I love sewing for my boys, but it is harder to find boys patterns. However, there's a wonderful company called Bobbins and Buttons, I'm sure you've heard of them before, and an English company, and they have a fantastic pattern on their website, which is an elasticated shorts pattern. It comes as a short length above the knee and a longer short length and simple elasticated waistband. Great instructions, really clear pictures to follow on her website, and easy pattern to download. I've checked this one out as well. Another great size range for this pattern, it comes in sizes 1 to 10 years, and it is a unisex pattern, so whilst I'm thinking about making this one for my boys, you can also make it for girls, and it is another great stash busting pattern. Now I have this cotton chambray left over from when I made the Camden pinafore for myself some months back. It's a really light, lovely cotton chambray, and I think that it would make great practical shorts for my boys. So if I make this pattern, I'd like to make it in this cotton chambray. So that's the elasticated waist shorts from Bobbins and Buttons. Now the last pattern I will share with you, again it seems to be a favourite in the sewing community, and that is the DIBY ABBT. I hope you followed all of that. So the pattern company is called DIBY, Do It Better Yourself Patterns, and the ABBT I think stands for anything but basic tee. Now this comes, I believe, as a children's pattern, a women's pattern and a men's pattern, so you could have ABBTs for the whole family. Try saying that 3 times quickly. So I have some fabulous dragon jersey fabric left over from when I made my boys' pyjamas in the winter time. It's these cotton jerseys that I just bought off Amazon. The quality isn't fabulous, but that's fine. For the length of time that the children wear the clothes, it's perfect. And I would just like to get as much use out of these fabrics as possible. I have a good amount left over, I think enough to cut out a t-shirt for each boy, and I think it will go really well with that chambray. So if I manage to make that up, I think those t-shirts and shorts would work really well together. So the size range goes from 18 months to 12 years, so again, a fabulous size range, especially for a free pattern. It's a unisex tee and it comes in short sleeve, 3/4 length sleeves and a full length sleeve option. If I make this, we are heading into spring and summer, so I will make the short sleeve option. Now, as a bonus pattern, I just thought I would throw in a little pattern from one of my favourite pattern companies, Below the Kowhai Patterns. Now, I'm a New Zealander, I love supporting New Zealand pattern companies, and Sophie from Below the Kowhai has this fantastic little free purse shaped like a cat. That is the most fabulous stash buster. I have made this before for some little girls as birthday presents, and I can really recommend the pattern. Now obviously you cannot sew this up for the Sew Frugal challenge because it is not a garment, but I wanted to throw it in there as it is one of my favourite free patterns and I have made this quite a few times before. Now just to finish, I thought I would briefly mention what I'm wearing in today's video. This is the garment that I made for last year's Frugal Frocks challenge. It is the poppy dress from Mood Patterns. Now originally this dress comes with a very plunging neckline. In fact, it just goes straight down to the waist. That's not really a look that I am massively keen on. Now it has a really big facing that you fold under and then sew down. So all that I did was make sure that I left myself enough room. I didn't quite fold it over as much as the pattern suggested that I should, which gave me enough room to almost turn it into a button placket down the front here, so that I could make the plunging neckline not quite so plunging. Now, unfortunately, the last couple of years haven't left us much opportunity for going out wearing pretty dresses like this one, but I am hoping that this summer this dress might get an airing. It is so much fun to wear, and I made it from a dead stock fabric that I bought from Rainbow Fabrics. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I do hope you enjoyed all those suggestions for free spring and summer sewing patterns. If you did enjoy the video, I would so appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be made aware of when I publish future videos and you can become one of my regular viewers. Also, if you could hit that like button, that would be really, really helpful, as that helps me to know what content my viewers are enjoying so that I can plan my future videos accordingly. If you are getting involved with the challenge this month, don't forget that you can share your makes on Instagram on March 31st with the hashtag SewFrugal22, and make sure to tag Sam at Frugalissima and Ruan at the Yorkshire Sew Girl in your photographs. If you want to share your works in progress, there is a hashtag for that as well, which is hashtag SewFrugal22WIP. So do feel free to share on that hashtag, and then don't forget to share your finished garments on the 31st of March. I'm so looking forward to sharing what I am going to make, and I'm hoping that I'll get a couple of those things made up, one for me and one for my children, but do check back at the end of March to see what I got made. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a happy week ahead full of wonderful sewing, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.